Now, we're not playing this. And if you see this is private real quick because it's literally trying to basically record this at on a feed. Well, not feed, but as a review of old Libra here. Libra, your thoughts of the Trails of series in general so far?
Very interesting. I liked I liked it when it got darker and darker and darker by 3 and 4. I loved it, and then finally it still has bright moments, but you could tell like, oh shit, here we go. We kicked it in full turbo of darkness.
Oh yeah, there's a scene that surprises me, and by the way, if you're watching this, there will be spoilers galore. This is full-on spoilers on 3, because when we reviewed 1 and 2, I was so trying to avoid spoilers for 3.
Now, bring
you know
it
what I mean?
on!
Like talking about some, I was tiptoeing. One of the things that was that made me, well, not piss me off, but I was just like, really? Was the treatment of Ren in this game. Oh my god! Like, I pity this man. He is so used as a political tool in so many ways. And by political tool, I mean, like, he does the political dirty work that no one wants to do. And I want to smack some of Class 7.
Let's go!
Oh man.
Okay, your thoughts on Class 7 in general in this game? Because I know...
The new Class 7 had some interest.
How they treated old Class 7.
The old Class 7 was...
This is it!
Okay, let me put this way. They were...
Let's go!
They were good, and they had their interesting,
I'll handle this.
I guess, time to shine, if you want to put it that way, and they function just like if you were playing them in a 2, almost. If you want to put it that way.
My turn.
Yeah, but you took away...
It's my turn.
I mean, no, okay, I'm going to shit for a few seconds on this game. I'm just going to go down a list of one character that... Okay, Kurt's writing was really good. His saying he only has one massive shtick. He does not like Percentric. What good reason? Percentric's insane! He's no near the fruitcake itself!
I like the Vander style that he does double swords. Who does double swords?
Yeah, and that's the thing. He wanted to expand the Vander school style, and here he is scorned by it. Because he was not good at the basic Vander school style, so he literally picked up the sword style that was the original sword style.
Let's go, everyone!
So it's dual blade, and then everybody went one sword style. And there's only been one master of the dual blade sword style, which is good. And they pointed out, and throughout the story, he's successfully fine-tuning not only his abilities as a swordsman, but like sensing, you know what I mean, present sensing. He's able to pick up skills that Rin has, which is
almost a degree.
Really good. And I would say Rin is a very good teacher to a degree, mentor figure. Also, his writing is very consistent. What did you think of Kurt?
I liked Kurt. I liked his story. His combat effectiveness was okay for what it was, but I just found eventually I just threw him out of my party.
It's down.
No, we're just talking about characters in general, not the combat, but the characters in general.
Okay,
right now.
Okay, not the combat. Story-wise was good. I didn't have a problem with Kurt's story. It was interesting.
Okay. Here's where we get to the second thing.
Here I go.
Altina, I have got to say, was probably one of the... It's like they focused a ton of all the new Class 7's writing on Altina. Would you not agree on that? Because she gets the most character development, the most time to shine in certain scenes. The ending really does hit her. There's a lot of scenes with Altina and Rin and just general dialogue in general.
It's my turn.
They focused more on her because Reed basically eventually scolded her and told her, "Hey, stop being basically a robot. You're not a robot. You're somebody that has a sentient to make their own decision."
Yeah, he's like, you don't have to follow my beck and knee. Because what's interesting is, I love the irony is, no one in the old Class 7 understands Rin's mental state better than Altina.
My mind is clear.
It was literally stated point blank, she went on more missions with him during the Civil War than the original Class 7, I think. Because she does work for Bismarck to a degree and the Black Workshop, and they were both benefiting greatly from the Civil War and the crossbow incident. And it's funny is she's the one who worries the most for Rin because she knows his personal circumstances, like with Bismarck, his mental psychology damage from all the crap he had to pull during the Civil War. Because let's just face it, he did more dirty, getting his hands more dirty than the rest of Class 7. Okay, maybe Sarah and Fee to a degree because they basically did Jaeger work, and Fee had to climb her way up to a high level it is, but I'd say those three are the ones who mostly got their hands the most bloodiest during that entire period. Okay, one thing I do wish, would you get Celine come back? I want my mascot cat, damn it. I want my pessimistic mascot cat.
Let's go. Now.
My personal punching bag.
Oh man.
But
It's my turn. There.
because one of the things they do focus on is Rin gets a massive character arc in this
Let's
one.
go.
It's still ongoing as the ending. The ending starts him on a completely new one. His one character arc, big thing in it was learning to trust his students.
All right.
Let's go. Sit.
That was another thing of his. But then again,
My turn.
it's like his students always appeared at the wrong time.
My mind is clear. My blade empty. Now.
Like, I will not forget the scene with him and Sharon on the roof. He's about to go full tilt against McBurn. McBurn, you know, Zeno, McBurn. And the students are up and he's just like, God damn it, man. I just want to go full tilt. I'm pissed. And McBurn's like the perfect battle junkie.
My turn.
Let's face it, that's all McBurn is. He's a freaking battle junkie. And if anybody could let him Rin blow off some steam, it would probably have been McBurn at that moment.
Nope.
He just kind of stays like, I got the whole back. And then they come and he's like, ah, damn it.
Behold,
Now I gotta focus on my
soul of
students.
our
This
faith.
sucks.
No.
I did like during the Jaeger War, because there is a war with the Jaegers, and I will get to them too, is,
Radiant Phoenix
he tells them before they go to the fortress, when the old Class 7 goes to the canyon area, they go, oh, we're gonna go, it's like, no, I am directly ordering you to stay here. Which is like, disobey his direct order enough to follow you for insubordination. I think he threatens insubordination on them at one point. Which, I was like, wow, Rin is actually pulling rank on them. A militaristic rank. And that they try to think, oh, you're going to go for glory. He's like, no. I need someone that's strong enough that hold this place down. All the big guns are leaving. I need a secondary weapon in case they come here. He's like, there's only there's only a second group of people that are strong as me, and that's my students. Stay here. Sorry, that made me laugh. Not only did he pull rank on him in that Jaeger scene, you know what I mean, before they went to the fortress, but he basically said, yeah, you're staying here. And now I'm gonna go full tilt.
the opponent.
Which he does. Another thing is that when we get to there, I'm gonna say one thing about the Jaeger group they had to fight. They're basically similar to the Cobra unit in Metal Gear Solid 3. they want to go. They basically want to die. Their era, you know what I mean? The Liberian era, their time to shine, whatever you want to call it. Their warrior code days are gone, and they're never coming back. You know what I mean? They have nothing to survive for. Sarah does, whichever one, whichever how you want to pronounce it. She does. She's got the bracers thing in them, but they don't. So they basically did what kind of the Cobra units did. We're gonna go out in one final blaze of glory and on our terms, and they'll do it helping and training this new soldier, the next generation.
Understood.
Kind of what the Jaegers did in the green.
My turn.
Although they went pretty far with the cyanide capsule.
It's off balance. This one's mine.
Now it's not flat out said that was a cyanide capsule, but you get it when he bites his tongue. Bit his mouth. He didn't bite his tongue out, because no, he took a cyanide capsule.
Let's go. It's off balance.
And I remember seeing that, like, damn, they just go for the cyanide route?
Sit! It's down! Yuna, now!
Because not a lot of team names want to go that, you know what I mean, full-blown dark. The last game I could think of that went kind of darkest route that this goes was the Xenosaga series on PS2.
Now. An opening.
I'm up!
In their storytelling. Now there was a few bloods and shit, but those weren't in depth. It was about as bad as 2 was over another thing, but yeah. There's that. Laura almost has.
This one's mine.
She's continuing her training basically in this one. It was stated she'd been traveling with Emma, I believe.
Yeah. Now let's keep moving.
That's correct.
Because you meet her and Emma at the same time. Mockiness didn't improve. He's still staticky. He's basically working his way in the government. Elliot just became a traveling bard spy, which is very clever. If you're going to be a traveling musician, why not use your travelingness to gather information? That's clever. I'll give that much. That was a fairly clever tactic. Emma's continuing her witch training and has probably surpassed it. What was another one here? Fee became a bracer because a time skip happens after the Civil War. It's like a year passes between Trail 2 and this one.
Leave it to me!
During the year that the closing of the crossbell that we saw, that made no sense in 2. They talk a lot about that time frame.
It's mine. I'll handle this. It's off
You guys
balance.
talk about uses and Gaius as well.
Yeah, uses and Gaius was interesting. This one, I was like, why can't I use his first art? And then it's explained he's a Dominion user. The interesting thing is he has a different Dominion. Well, Dominions in this one are not Dominions as in what I originally thought. When I've heard Thomas was a Dominion guy, the ruler of the first Dominion, I was like, he owns us. What popped in my mind was subdimension. Like, I rule over this specific dominion, this territory of, like, you know what I mean, this dimension of man, humans. No, it's just a dominion of power, the type of power you have. Basically, and that's fairly small scale, low tier as well. The previous suitor that Gaius got his from was, like, I guess a lionish power from a buff. His is basically Phoenix, which involves wind, because he's always been a wind nature-ish guy, which makes sense. The Dominion, I'm assuming the Dominion cresses, which are past person, their powers change depending on the user. How the hell is Emma's grandmother related to a vampire? A lowly vampire? I'm not gonna get to the fact that she basically bit Rin. I love the fact. Oh, well, let's not even forget. Rin gets made fun of so bad by the class. At some points, Kurt just goes, "I give up. I can't help you anymore, Professor. I can't defend you anymore." That's just like, really, another woman Yeah, Ash, who joins in your party, actually, he's pretty interesting. He's your fairly one-note dimensional character, because he doesn't get very much multi-character development. He's almost one note. Muse has more depth than he does, because I'm honestly at times rolling my eyes. I'm like, that is clearly the Duchess woman we were introduced to. Julius, you're right there. Just say your Duchessness. Literally. Tell Rin. I was just like, I'm like, you're as bad as his father if you're withholding that important of information. If your student is the Duchess and, you know, the next ruler of nobility, that should be something Rin should be able to know about. I'm just saying, that little bit pissed me off of Julius and Machias. I'm like, okay, dude, you're at a table meeting in the later half of the game. What are we gonna do? Change things in society as they are now, blah, 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 blah. And, you know, his student is the Duchess, and has taken over the Alvarez slot. That's a bit important, don't you think? That's the thing that Rin should be in the loop about. Oh crap, I might have one of the heirs to a family in my class. Yeah, I know, people thought I was gonna go easy on him. No. I do not. That actually was just like, gave me a look like, I was just thinking, really? Like,
What do you think about Yuna as a character?
I was getting to her. I was getting to her. She's on my biggest hit list. But do not take the term hit list out of context thing. By hit list, I mean one of my biggest sticks against this game is the inconsistencies on Yuna's writing. We'll just skip past her to Muse, because Muse is literally a noble in hiding. Okay, let's just face it. She's a noble that wants to play like she's not a noble. Okay, I've seen this archetype done before, but they did it very tastefully, the correct method. But Yuna, oh my god. Okay, let me put it this way. I liked her gameplay better. Those Tofas? What the fuck? That's not a Tofa. Tofas do not get used like that, they turn to guns. Come on. But then again, we take the believability and go straight into La La Land half the time in this series. So we're not going to talk about that. Yuna starts out as a typical tsundere. Yeah, I'm just going to say it. Anybody, she's a typical tsundere. But now I know people go, oh, well, tsundere is good. Yeah, because usually they get the most development, most character development, and all this other stuff. Yeah. Yuna's literally, the moment we get to Crossbell, everything just starts, her development starts going into Swiss cheese. Because up to then it was, I hate Rin, I hate Instructor, I hate Alberian, I hate blah 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 blah. Made sense. They conquered her country. You're with the Ashen Chevard, who basically conquered your country. Honestly, the one thing I was thinking would change her tune of Rin would only be the scene when it was revealed that the only reason the civilians didn't die was thanks to him intervening, disobeying orders, which by the way is very bad in the military. You do not disobey high command orders to infiltrate and protect civilians.
Let's go.
I was like, if that scene had come up later and she still had like, she slowly started lessening her hatred to him, and then that is revealed that Rin, the guy she hates the most, was the reason her family and them were alive, that would be better. And then she finds out he broke orders. But no, it's Rin saved me, I have a secret crush on him, blah 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 blah. I'm just like, no, you were doing good. And then that's brought up later. I'm like, why couldn't you just get rid of that retcon, that stuff? That's my biggest gripe with Yuna as a character. Now, I know they're going better. Her character writing did get better, but it's just like, it's whiplash. I'm just like, yes, this is what literally, like, it just like whipped me across the face and jarred me, left field me. Oh. I'm not gonna get into that. But that's my biggest complaint. Her as a plot device, I do like it that she picks up more on
Now.
Rin's internal pain
opening.
than even his dense class
Here we go.
does.
There.
Because I can get why how
I'll
she's
handle
written.
this.
She's almost a
It's
viewpoint
my
character.
turn. Sit.
She's a citizen of a nation that Rin's military conquered.
Let's go.
Okay?
Ah!
Let's put massive emphasis.
Yeah.
Bismarck and him basically
Let's go.
conquered
Sit.
Crossbell. So she has every right
my
to hate
turn.
this guy and all the stuff that is. But then it's
Okay,
basically,
let's keep
well,
moving.
I should hate Arabonians, but this doesn't make sense.
I need to keep.
Let me
getting
this
better.
one. Well, Claire's not a horrible person. That doesn't make sense. I mean, you're almost indoctrinated at one point to really actually think all of Arabonians is horrible people when you realize they're not. It's the nobility. And Rin is literally forced to work for the nobility against his will. Even Yuna picks up, wait, are those government orders? It's like, I thought you didn't work. He's like, I'm forced to. I think he points to this, he's like, I'm forced to work for the government. For Lecter and all them. Actually, funny thing, I gotta think about Lecter. At the ending, that surprised me the most. Lecter didn't want to do what he had to do. Million was a given, and neither did Claire. The only one who was all for it was Rufus. Who I'm so glad was the one that got to fight. Julius and him just had a one-on-one. And everyone was just back there chilling, like, thank God they're past. Because, I mean, as much as I wanted to smack Lecter, because he's literally a guy who withholds information but does it within thing, there are moments in there where you can
Let's
tell
do
he's
this.
generally a person, he doesn't want to do some of the things he does. Like the whole quest where you basically have Walking Death cast.
You can't escape.
Under controls to get to the kid, yeah,
Let's go.
that's one. But that was one of the best scenes to me. Was that one with the Iron Bloods where they're just like,
Let's go, everyone.
none of us really want to be here, man.
Leave it
We
to
don't
me.
want to fight you. We know you really well, Red. We know Class 7. This Class 7 more personally than the old one. Because
We'll
quite
keep
frankly, I
going
think if it
for
was
a
the old Class
brighter
7 sitting there,
tomorrow.
Lecter would have been like, okay, let's just kick their ass, please. Claire, not so much. Julia's wouldn't get, but Lecter actually has more of a fondness for the new Class 7 because he's been giving them missions constantly. So, and I liked the fact that none of them were in grievance for what was going on with Altina. They all were like, no, this is messed up. I don't agree with this. I also like the fact that even Lecter was appalled at the blowing up of the ship with Oliver and them. Lecter, Claire, well, Rufus was like, woohoo, okay, well, that's more war power for me. None of the other ones agreed with it. No one did. They were all like, okay, that's beyond the line. Like, I would not have thought that.
Sit.
Nice going, George. I hope I get to stab you with a nice long sword. You don't basically mind crush Toa, who's been basically Rin's shrink since game 2 by doing that. Oh, by the way, the Crow revealed that was a pretty much a dead given. Oh, wait, we can't forget about Crow. That's an important character too. How many of us were whooping and hollering after we had that annoying battle with that dragon,
Ready. Sit.
but we get to have a 1v1 against Crow
Hey-ya!
with the
strong,
song that
be
was playing in Trail of Cold Steel 2.
Ah!
I
Since
got
it's a
this.
modified version.
Oh, well, it's a modified
my turn.
edition. It's a remix, but it's the same dang song for
I'll handle
1v1. They're older now. Don't tell me you didn't enjoy that.
Let's go.
I did.
No, that was great.
That was a great callback and homage.
Now. An opening.
Honestly, part of me didn't want that battle to end anytime soon,
my
but I'm
turn.
like, damn, I gotta do it.
I know. I was even have some. You were talking to me. I'm like,
My turn.
Libra, why is this so fun? Why is this music so good? He's like, you're going, you have to finish the story. I know it's going to get better. I'm like, but I really wanted to stick in this. This track sounds so good. Now, if there's one thing I've noticed Trails of has, it's damn good music. I've used the music in some of my videos. It has really good music. I don't know who the composer is, but they do a damn good job.
An opening.
Like
I liked
every
everything, especially the part where
It's my
you
turn.
I might as well toilet. You go into this like creepy part of the fucking dungeon, and you hear creepy music, and then you fight like basically undead things, fucking things coming back with like might as well be necromancy.
Oh, you're referring to the Infernal werewolf with that dragon. Spoil the hell out of this game. Spoilers galore for game 3.
Now.
This is a no holds barred discussion. Not only is this rude,
yeah, there was a dragon that apparently didn't completely die and come back and it was resurrecting things.
Nice going, Rosetta. The dragon's sleeping. It would have been so easy for one to stab it in the head until you say, "Hey, we need to kill this thing." Like,
well, yeah.
Standing right in front of it.
Now let's keep. I must continue to train.
I facepalmed so hard. I'm like, before Anna's bickering with the vampire chick or her grandmother, that makes sense. That wouldn't bug the thing. But the moment you say, "I'm gonna kill it," its instincts kick in. It's like, what? Oh, you're gonna kill me? Oh, I don't think so. And even the vampire's like, I shouldn't have said that, should I have? Whoops. At which point I'm just like, lady, you just made my job a lot harder.
I was gonna say, Keo was not having a good time with that fight.
Oh, that fight was irritating me.
Time to get a little serious.
Even the second form, when you fight the true one of it, the ending boss, was annoying until I got to the mechs. Because they can just slam you with every status effect in the book.
Behold.
I'm up.
I think I used Emma to reflect mostly to avoid that or put.
No, the true dragon, the end of the game. The Holy Beast version of it, where it's just new class 7.
But I didn't personally have a problem with it, but I was kind of getting sort of frustrated how many fucking turns it was taking. Like, damn.
Yeah, that thing had a monster load of health. I'm pretty sure you had to retry and weaken a few times. But yeah, plus this is let me show you this. That's 95 hours, people. 95 hours on that screen. That's how long it took me to complete the base game. That's very little side content that I do in this game. That's base game. This base game is almost 95 hours to 90 hours. That's including grind, story, and all sorts of stuff. So if you're paying the $60 price tag for it, that's how long the base game plus grinding plus... And even then I'm not fully grinded, I'm only at level 50s that I beat the game on. So, people,
It's a tough one.
you get your money's worth.
Always.
So if you're worried about the price and it being that, don't be. I just showed you my playtime. I just beat it last night.
My blade empty.
The concept of the battle points, you know, because we've ripped on the story a lot. The battle point system was a nice introduction. It's like, okay, this is interesting. You can get battle commands, and then you get special abilities for doing that. Or you can just save them up and everybody tag teams and dogs on the enemy. That's really cool.
It's the equivalent of, like, before you could do burst normally as a certain chance in 2. This one, if you had the brave points, you do burst, but at a much higher damage thing than 2's was. Woo!
Now!
It's mine.
I like Muse's battle point formation. All arts cut in half.
Ready?
I like that one.
Got it.
Yes, leave
And
it to
then
me.
forgot what the other one is. There's some other characters that had really good battle points, but I don't fucking remember all of them. But they were good. Oh, Reen was good. The one where you can instantly use the arts move, not wait another turn, just cast it instantly. I like that one.
It's my turn.
Some of the attack strength is okay. I didn't really utilize that.
This.
Mostly use A and Reen's.
This one's mine.
Everybody's just like, it was okay.
Here I go.
Nina's battle points are pretty good.
An opening!
If there's one thing Yuna
I got
is,
this.
she is extremely useful to stunning
An
enemies.
opening!
I like the time barrier. That's all I'm gonna say.
No,
Time
I mean-
barrier. Get an extra turn.
No, that's basically Chrono Burst. Chrono Burst gives you like 2 extra turns, which is better. But just I'm referring to, Yuna can literally, if you can get her to stun an enemy, you're almost guaranteed victory. Assuming you pull it off correctly and get a chain, you can literally loop an attack chain.
I would say time barrier is sort of kind of like a better Chrono Burst because it gives an instant extra turn basically, which is great. I love that. Yuna was in my party the whole fucking time I had her, and then
Pretty much that's why I had her for, because she could, you know, stun an enemy, and that was king.
the stun was great.
The stun, if for anybody who picked up this game who's watching this, even though we're spoiling the hell out of the story, but the gameplay is fun, and as you can see, I'm roaming the final dungeon, but I'm not going in any story cutscenes, I'm just fighting random monsters.
Purple lightning, ready for battle.
Yuna is literally
Thank
king.
you for making Altina a better version of Million. Thank you.
Yeah, then they had to, because you don't play with Million very often at all.
Second form.
Actually, you don't play with her at all in general.
Now.
Well, since we're talking about spoilers, how do you feel when she finally, you know, had to kick the bucket?
There.
Actually, I thought it was
I'll
the
handle
correct thing to do. Because during that thing, a lot... If Ren didn't mind break before, well, if the Killing Joke didn't get, Ren before that, ooh, it pushed him over. What little sanity he had left, because he had just faced, Oliver, Cedric's, and Tovel's death. Literally there, you know what I mean, because he just saw it on live feeding.
Yeah,
that
there's a certain thing you're not going to fully understand through, but let's just say there's
Let's
a certain thing that makes people snap and go into anger, and basically, when you get into the anger, bad consequences come out of the anger.
No, but I'm just saying in general, this is what basically what led to what caused the collide. Why I was amazed, Ren didn't snap beforehand. It was building. This whole game, him snapping to the ending was building. He had every reason to snap. And honestly, I think the only one who has been able to perceive the amount of pain, which would make sense, would be Altina and Yuna. Altina only because, as I stated before, she's a member and has seen how he is as an Erebonian from a person who comes from the continent he conquered with his father. But then she finds out he didn't want to do that. He didn't want to be the Ashen Chevalier. You know what I mean? He'd rather have been Rin Sforza, Thor's military student. That's all. He didn't want these fancy hero titles.
No, he didn't.
So, so that's what makes it more interesting. Then you've got Altina, who was with him during all those dirty missions. So if there's anybody that kept him sane, although I did like the fact, I'm just like, Ren, why didn't you even tell her this before? But with all the chaos in the Civil War and all the crap you probably had to go through, I can kind of see you looking at her as basically like, God, I'm glad this girl's here with me just to keep me sane. Because some of the stuff they mentioned he had to do was pretty messed up. Like at one point during the necromancy scene, he literally looks at his students and goes, don't look at these people as human anymore. You have to kill them. They're still human, but they're not. They have no humanity left. You're going to kill these people. And then,
They're basically zombie versions except smarter. Is basically.
yeah,
what
and
they
he
are.
basically flat out told him, was like, you're going to kill people right now. It's like, we are going to have to actually kill people. Before I was letting you use the back of your blade and stun them, but you have to kill these people. And then Vampire Lady shows up and does the Chinese Daishi little talisman and puts them all down. I was just like, really?
An opening!
Libra, you heard me. I dropped the controller. I was like,
Unforgivable!
being a title?
Yeah, they pulled it. They pulled the thing where they throw a talisman on one of them, and they go down.
Right
like,
after,
damn, why didn't you do this earlier?
No, right as Ring gives a serious speech and tells his students and gives them the motivation they need to learn to kill people. He's like, your first kill is going to be these people here. Vampire Lady comes in, I got this! Punk! Like, mood kill!
It's my turn!
Let's go!
Oh,
It's
man.
off balance!
This one's mine.
They did, in 3, they did much better than 2, because, the egregious thing with 2, which Kyo mentioned, they force you to do something that you don't want to do, and they took away stuff. They fixed it in 3, there was no fucking, oh, some middle finger to you, you have to deal with it, kind of thing.
Well, I am aware of 4's thing about that, because they're bringing all the people back that were
That's not a middle finger. That's a
middle finger where it's Luke, I am your father. I'm like, what? Now, here they pulled it off successfully. Rin, let's end this wretched story. Clonk. Like you should have done in 2, but 2 was about graduation, them growing up and graduating as well. Because there was basically also a time skip during that. Right after that, there's a small time skip, and then they have the graduation thing, and then another time skip to clean up the remnants of the Civil War crossbow, which is all off screen. And so we all find that out in the backstory throughout the game. And they do the concept of showing, not telling, and a lot, or telling and not showing a lot. 2 forms of exposition, or both. But, yeah. Oh, one of the things that I don't know if you knew it, when he mentioned survival of Hymo, why that was such a key thing was because Joshua from Trails series, you know, the Trails, the Libra arc, was a survivor of that village. And let's just say you're gonna really, when you get to that, you're gonna really feel bad for Joshua. I won't spoil that series for you, okay? Of the Trails of, but let's say it's literally it literally goes by arcs. The Libra arc, the Crossbow arc, which we never got translated, screw you Japan for that mark, and then this one. So, there's that. So, honestly, I'm looking forward to seeing what all those characters look like with 3D models. So there's.
You notice that everything looked way more detailed, and it was like, oh my gosh, this is actually on a PS4. Like, I was like, wow. And then like the game runs smooth, like, and
I'm up.
oh man,
it doesn't push your PS4 screaming either. It runs.
it doesn't.
Let's go.
Whatever engine they're using literally doesn't.
It was good.
It's off balance.
It's running on a good engine.
I got this.
From a game developer standpoint, as someone who's helped with that, I can tell you now, they put time, effort in this. The writing, they have really slowly crafted this out. Because there's a part 3, one thing this does is add a lot of world building.
It's my turn.
Not only do we get backstory to some of these characters, we get lots of world building. Which is what most of those little missions you did with the new Class 7 was world building. Establishing this is what the political landscape of is, this is the new culturals, how basically, you know, they absorbed another nation into them. I'm not even going to go into that complex. I'm not even going to mention the fact that Bismarck literally created the draft system.
Yeah.
Yes, audience, I know he's called Osborne, but if anybody reads history, Osborne's literally Bismarck. For God's sakes, he's called the Iron and Blooded Chancellor. Who had that title? Bismarck.
There. Yeah.
Let's go.
Basically.
Let's go.
Yeah, if the Iron Blooded Chancellor doesn't give that away, I don't know what will.
It's mine.
I did love the King in this, that the King even admitted to Rin in a 1v1 conversation, goes, yeah, we're a fucked up country. I inherited a messed up country. Our country is built on nothing but war. Cough, cough, United States, cough. And he's like, we profit a lot off of war, and our country is it. We've had 4 wars. I'm not going to get into the parallels of the United States on that exact concept. And the king's like, yeah, I'm a horrible person. And I like the fact that the king basically says straight up to, Bismarck straight up when the ash scene comes up, which, you know, he's clearly being controlled by a curse or whatever it is. It's in the asthma. Huh? Yeah,
Ash Carbide goes crazy.
Yeah, he goes, I would say he went crazy, but he finally snapped, just like Rin did. Because
he was pissed.
No, he had all the truth bombs dropped on him. Remember?
Yep.
And when he found out the truth, it kind of broke him in a way.
Bring it on.
Just like it did Rin in part 2. That messed up Rin's psyche pretty bad. We all gotta realize that. Finding out Bismarck's your father? Yeesh. That's right up there with Luke, I am your father levels of messery.
This is it.
So then you find out, oh yeah,
Let's go.
this is what really happened to your hometown. The king's like, I'm not gonna deny it. You're the 3rd
It's my turn.
survivor of Heimel, but still,
This is the
I
blade
don't
of the
excuse
8
what
leaves.
they did. And I like they flesh out Osborn this.
I did it.
I'm gonna have to start calling Osborn for a little bit. They flesh out that he didn't used to be this way. You know what I mean?
Finish this quickly.
He was basically created by the political landscape of this world.
Right.
But I did like when Osborn literally goes straight up to Ash. He goes, look, buddy, if you're gonna kill me, you're gonna just shoot me in the head. Because my heart, that's not gonna work. I had someone do that before.
It's down. Let's go, everyone.
Funny thing is,
It's my turn.
old Bismarck flat out tells Ren, he's like, oh, you see in the fire, your heart was obliterated, so I transferred my entire heart into you. I was like, organ transplants don't work that way, buddy. But okay.
All right.
I'm just gonna wing it. Apparently your heart's gotta be cursed somehow. Why is, like, Rin's mother never mentioned to a degree? Well, actually, Rin does find out about his mother. We do find out that the protagonist had parents. In, like, one little still scene, you see Rin as a baby and, like, you know, a younger Bismarck and, yeah. That.
Right.
And you see what his mother looked like, and they basically, well, tell him, is like, yeah, you look a lot like the Chancellor was younger, but you got a little bit of most facial features on her. It's funny that his mother was a commoner as well. She was considered very low ranking in society. Prostitution level, I think, is what they imply.
Here I go.
The same area Ash's mother was from, you know, adopted figure. Very interesting. I mean, we could go into fees with the boss, her getting closure on that. That's all that is.
It's down.
Laura finally testing her thing against the Steel Maiden. Which, by the way, holy crap, if you try to fight McGuinn and the Blade Master, Laura's father, at one time, prepare to get your ass kicked. Royally. Like, that is a fight that you had better walk in with plenty of Zakram potions and a bunch of other stuff.
That was a good fight. You don't necessarily have to beat them. You can get them down a certain percentage, and you'll be rewarded with the AP points. Which, by the way, they return.
Yeah, but God, that you want to beat the Blade Master and them. I didn't care. I restarted that thing because I wanted to beat them.
Principal, like, Rin is an interesting character, and I like that she basically is like, okay, I'm basically gonna go in there and I'm gonna fight the Steel Maiden, and she and the Rin's crew just basically kick her ass finally.
What's interesting
how's
is
that?
Rin acknowledges her as an equal, basically. If those who pay attention, they were on opposite sides during the Civil War.
Mm-hmm.
It's even stated, like, you know, when Rin has his practice match against her second in command, he's like, dude, we didn't get a chance to go ahead and Civil War, go right here. But it's like, sure. And he just kicked their students' ass. And here he is, just like, literally they're both having a field day going at each other. Guaranteed lots of unnecessary stress was getting on Rin's system when he was having that 1v1. Also, yeah, there were a couple times during the talking events that you will fight Quick Win a few times. She's a very interesting character as she's written too.
Azure Cleaver. Now.
Although it is funny, is like the Blade Master even says, so you reached the problem I have. You reached the pinnacle of strength. Now you know not. Now you have no one left to challenge you, and now you're bored.
It's mine.
Have fun.
Here I go.
That's a little
Wide open.
An opening.
cold, Blade
I
Master.
got this.
Let's go.
But
There's
they do
too
make
much
a.
story
Swear
to
upon my
cover
sword,
here,
evil
so-
will not prevail.
No,
I'm saying
we've still got a few
just
more minutes left. So the
No,
covers.
I'm just saying to explain everything would take way too long. So trust me,
I
just
need to
pick up the
keep getting
game and
better.
just
No, this is a
Find
discussion
out
video. This is
what's
literally a
there.
review / discussion.
yeah.
So this is like we're doing covering everything we can, as much as we can, once we remember it. I'm going off what I remember from them. I like they fleshed out Sharon's past.
Mm-hmm.
That was nice. You see the relationship with her. Also, nice foreshadowing on a few other things. But yeah, Krogus' memory back at the end of it. That's really lovely and for. How's that gonna go?
That I can't
I'll
tell
handle
you.
this.
But then there's the Milliam scene was like hit me with a ton of bricks because it's already being implied that Julius has a thing for her and them.
Right.
I raised my eyebrow at, but not say anything.
Yeah.
I'm not a judge. But still, it was just like, ah. And here's the funny thing. That's gonna piss off both Claire, Lecter. Those are the biggest turncoats I could see happening at this point. Claire, because that was her little sister practically. That Bismarck just murdered for his insidious plan. Which I don't think Claire signed up for that part.
It's down.
You?
It's mine.
I don't think she was very happy with what happened to Milliam.
No,
Pretty
she
sure-
wasn't, but yeah, just oh man.
Lecter has this look of just pure anguish as well. I mean, I remember seeing that last time. I was like, damn! Because those two look at the hardest. I mean, come on, how long has Lecter... And I honestly think Lecter and Claire have done more missions with Milliam than anybody. Next to Class 7.
Mm-hmm.
And it's even said, like, Milliam even calls Claire Big Sis, I believe, at times. And that's gotta hurt. Just saying.
We got him now.
And I like the
It's
fact that...
done really hard.
Oh yeah, that had a nasty little stinger when it did that. I was like, ooh! Because to me, like, I mean, I kind of saw the writing on the wall. Like, they're not going to kill Altina. But then I was like, oh crap. They said earlier there's two. It's like, shit. And I noticed you haven't gotten to play as Milliam at barely all in the game.
Now.
Like, barely.
Now.
You play as a lot more of the other one else except for her. And I'm thinking, they're not going to go there. They're going to go there with Arrow of Law, aren't they? Because if I'm writing this story, I'd do the exact same tactic. But how are the other people going to react? That's what I was wondering. And then you find out that the Iron Bloods were not with this plan at all. They didn't even know of that. They were left in the dark of that little
I'll handle
factor.
this.
Because Lecter
Let's go.
was growing fond of Altina. And
It's down.
Lecter's also grown up, and Claire grown up around Milliam. Yay. Nice going. Now you have your sister's blood on your hands. Not only the princess and them, but they're still alive. By the way, Tovel died, and that pissed me off because Tovel's awesome. How dare you, Talco? How dare you?
Rip.
Rip Tovel. I feel bad. I was like, honestly, I'm like, I think Ren of the, yeah, the plane explosion probably hurt everyone, but I think the one Ren was closest to was Tovel.
Take them down.
Because it was saying he fought in the war with him. I mean, I don't think he was doing any work for the prince during that freaking war that we see off screen. I think he was working with Tovel and Sarah and all them, taking Jaeger groups and all them. I guess McGuinn. So that has to be a nasty blow. Let's not even put in the factor that his idol, Laura's father's there.
Now! Let's go, Laura!
But, yeah.
Here we go!
You need to get rid of that political figure. I mean, honestly, I thought the king was going to actually die, but he didn't. I'm like, well, that's even more messed up, because now you're going to have a political power struggle.
Let's go!
And then Cedric does something incredibly... I could have seen coming a mile away.
Now.
Let's give all emergency power to the Chancellor.
Yeah!
What does the Chancellor do? He basically recreates that form of the draft. Oh yeah, I can draft you, and I take your nobility stats and power and your entire economy to it.
It's down.
Nice. And with this curse that Red Unleashed,
It's off balance.
yeah, there's a lot of anger going on right now.
All right!
And Bismarck's speech is poetry for manipulation. I think the only people who realized that was the branch campus class 7. They're like, wait a minute, if they do this, we were told by, because Toa was teaching them, you know, the worst case scenarios governments can pull, which they wouldn't learn at the main campus. Guarantee you some of Toya's classes. Though she grew a few inches, that was hilarious. They even make Ren almost makes fun of her for that until she almost shoots him. She goes, "Do please finish that sentence." He's like, I will admit that Ren does have a sister complex, but he takes it to almost a ludicrous degree in this game. When Ash was trying to hit on the sister, he's like, "Do please finish, Ash, with what you were just about to say," and Ash really freaks out.
Get back! Now!
During that side mission, and the funnier part of the side mission was, he's like, "Okay, who wasn't over the business? Don't worry, I'm gonna go grab Valmar, and I'm gonna take him straight up in the atmosphere, and then I'm gonna drop him down." And the class like, no, no murder, instructor, no murder. Kurt's even like, "I've noticed Instructor Ren gets to really turns a 360 when it comes to his little sister." Like, yeah. Overprotect the big brother much? Well, he doesn't take the cause to the extreme, he just completely wrecks it.
Radiant Phoenix Blade!
I got this! Here's our chance!
I mean, there's like, this game is, as I said, it's like 96 hours of content.
This is the blade of the eight.
Very little rehashing.
I had so much fun. There were so many beautiful environments. I love the outside environments too. It's like,
I'm going to tell you one thing that I found extremely interesting. During the finale, the final arc, the final act, all the NPCs you've had missions from up till then, that they get missions in all town, they all play a part.
Straight to the pieces! Here's our chance!
They all like show up in the final battle section, not fighting, that's like in danger, or you hear their side of things, you know, all the NPCs you've been talking to actually matter.
Now!
Wow, for once an NPC actually you can grow attached to. I actually like collecting photos for Vivi. I went my way every time to get the photos.
My turn.
By the way, just for those of you who, if you're doing the romance thing, Toa gives you like the best
My turn.
accessory in the game.
Now.
One of the really good ones.
I got this.
If you romance her out. But by that point, you could basically get anybody. If you've been going around at every station you go to, and getting these little gifts. Because there's little gifts hidden everywhere. And the gifts, if you send them to the person that during that chapter, raise the affinity rank like stats. Because you don't get little dating events like you did basically in 2 or 1.
It's down.
Not really.
It's mine. All right. You can't
Correct?
Not on my watch.
What you got?
escape.
You don't get those little dating point events like you did in 1 and 2.
No, they structured it differently.
I got this.
No, you're basically, because you're at the campus and all your friends are graduating from campus, the ones you're going to be talking to are the campus ones.
Let's go.
There's a lot of people talking to in campus.
All right.
I mean, for God's sakes, you can waste a few points on McGuinn.
Yeah.
Smoky, you went out, don't you?
I'm just going to say that. And
Let's go.
with how it's...
My turn.
Hang on.
Yeah.
Let's go.
My turn.
It's my turn.
It's my turn. For everyone's sake, I can't afford to lose. Sit.
But yes, as far as I can tell you, Trails of is a very interesting game. Interesting writing, good gameplay as you've seen. Because I'm making sure just to fight constantly.
Archeo, are we gonna wrap this up? I gotta...
Basically, I find it had a very interesting conclusion to it. It's a cliffhanger that I can be satisfied with. Yes, there'll be a stinger. We're not gonna exactly tell you how, but we've probably spoiled it enough, but it's a stinger that's enough to keep you satisfied, waiting. Not the... This is nowhere near the Stinger 1 was. I'll tell you that much. 1 Stinger was bad. Because it just literally goes, you don't know if class is dead or not. This one, at least you know they're there. Okay.
Closing thoughts, because I gotta get going, and you know.
Closing thought is buy it. Buy this game. Oh,
Same.
you might want to buy a little bit of DLC, like when it comes to like the Seraph stuff. That's why I recommend the Zakrams. Other than that, you don't have to do that. Just get the Zakram potions and the Seraph, and you're good for the entirety of the game. What's your recommendation? My recommendation is buy it, regardless of the price. You?
Same.
Okay, well this is a matter of your signing off. You, Libra October, giving our thoughts and discussions and full-blown spoilers on the review of Tales of Cold Steel 3. Hope you've enjoyed, and we'll see you all in the next JRPG that I finish. See ya!